Hi everyone, my name is Vance. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this very beautiful waistcoat. Can be paired with any type of trouser. So I will advise that you watch this video to the end so you will see the one that I recreated. So guys, let's get right into the tutorial. So this is my pattern paper. I'll go ahead and mark out the starting line. I always do this in all of my tutorials. So when I was done, I'll go ahead and connect all of these points into a straight line with my ruler. After which, guys, I will go ahead and get the button allowance because there's a button in front of the coat, and I use 1.5 inches for the button. When I finished marking, I went ahead to connect into a straight line. I'll go ahead and indicate my button allowance so you could be aware that this is a button allowance. So when I'm done, guys, what I will go ahead to do right now is to take my vertical measurement, which is my bust point 10 inches, my under bust 13.5 inches, my front waistline is 16 inches. So from that 16 inches, I will go ahead and take my tape down to mark the length of my hip, which I use 9 inches for the length of my hip. So when I was done with this, guys, I went ahead to take my ruler to connect this point into a straight line. At this point, I didn't realize that the camera didn't video the down part of this pattern paper, but whatever I'm doing, I'm going to be explaining it. So I went ahead now to indicate my line. This is my bust point, my under bust, my waistline. I realized that the pencil wasn't showing, so I just went ahead to use my marker pen to indicate it so you could better understand what I was writing. So my waistline, and then I indicated my hip, which didn't show, and I'm sorry about it. So the next thing I did right now is to take my shoulder measurement, which is 15.5. I marked it. I came down by 1 inch. I got my armhole line, your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. I marked it, and I went ahead to use my ruler to connect it into a straight line to get my chest line. So this is my chest line. I'll go ahead right now and indicate CL, meaning chest line. So when I'm done with this, guys, on the chest line, I'm going to repeat my shoulder measurements, which is 7.7 inches. I'll mark it there, and I'll use my ruler to connect it into the 1 inch shoulder slope I came down by. So when I'm done with this, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my neck width. So I went ahead to take 3 by 3. I used 3 inches for my neck width and 3 inches for my neck depth, and I went ahead to connect these points that I made into in a round form. And when I was done, I went ahead to take my shoulder slope, just the way you see me doing. So the next thing I did was to go ahead and divide my armhole line into 2. I marked it and I came in by 1/2 inch. If you're conversant with my tutorial, you understand that we always do this. So I went ahead to take my bust divided by 4. I marked it on the chest line, and I went ahead to connect these 3 points to give me my armhole curve. So guys, so far, if you found value in my video, please do well to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. So at this point, guys, I'll go ahead and take my nipple to nipple, which is 7. I divided it by 2, and it gave me 3.5. I went ahead to mark this 3.5 across all of the lines that I made, and I will use my ruler to connect it into a straight line. Now we are about to, for this waistcoat, we are going to be using the armhole princess dart method. So guys, when I was done with this, at my under bust, I will come in on both sides by 1 inch. For my under bust, I came in on both sides by 1 inch. I went ahead to mark it, and from my bust point, I came down by 1 inch and I marked it. So I used my French curve to give it that bustier curve. So I did the same thing on both sides. When I was done with this, guys, the next thing I went ahead to do is to connect this into a straight line down to the hip line. I'm really sorry that this hip part is not shown because I wasn't even aware why I'm filming this. So from my armhole line, that's the mid armhole, I'm going to connect to the chest line just the way you see me doing, because this is a princess dart method. Armhole princess dart method. So from that point, guys, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. So I went down here by 1 inch, and I'm going to connect it to the bust point using my French curve. So when I'm done with the curving, I came up here by 1.5 inches. So I marked it there and I went ahead to use my ruler to rule it across just like this. And then I saw that the 1.5 inch wasn't really blending with the line, so I went ahead to remeasure and I marked my 1.5 inch and I curved it all the way to the chest line, just the way you see me doing. So when I'm done with these guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my shoulder slope, because I'm going to be doing shoulder dart. This will prevent gaping around your shoulder for your shoulder dart. So I went ahead now to connect that my shoulder midpoint I marked to the chest line, just the way you see me doing. So when I was done on both sides, I came in by 0.35. So I marked my 0.35 on both sides, are you seeing? And then I went ahead to connect it down to the chest line, just the way you see me doing. So guys, when I'm done with this, I'll go ahead now and take our shape. So we are almost done with this. Are you seeing? It's very easy. So the next thing I did was to take the shape, my bust measurement divided by 4. I marked it, I replaced my dart, and then I added my allowance. I used 1 inch for this allowance, but I would advise that you use more than 1 inch. You can use 1.5. Then on my under bust, I marked my under bust measurement divided by 4. I replaced my dart, and then I added my 1 inch allowance for my sewing allowance. So on the waistline, I also divided my waistline by 4. I marked it, I replaced my dart, and then I marked my 1 inch for sewing allowance. So on the hip line, which is not showing obviously, I divided my hip by 4, and then I replaced the dart and I added 1 inch again. So I realized that my hip allowance was not enough. So what I did was I placed a paper around this end and I taped it down, just the way you see me doing. I told you I was going to explain everything, even if you're not seeing it. This is a very easy tutorial. It's just for you to follow what I'm saying. So when I was done marking, guys, I went ahead to connect my points together to give me my body shape. When I was done connecting, guys, from the waistline I came down by 2.5 inches. So the 2.5 inches will serve as where the slit is going to end. From the shoulder line there's an opening there, so this is what the 2.5 inches is going to serve. So because it wasn't showing, I went ahead to recheck my video. So guys, so after I was done with my shape, what I did was I came down by 1.5 inch because I didn't want the waistcoat to be straight. I wanted it to have a little bit of curve, and I connected it to the dart leg. So after I came into from the center front by 1.5, I came up by half of an inch to give it that curve to connect the dart leg. So from the waistline, as I explained, I came down by 2.5 inches. So hope you understand now. So from that bust point, I came down by 1 inch for my bust dart. From the bust point, I came down by 1 inch for my bust dart. I went ahead to connect it. So guys, to get the pocket in front of this waistcoat, I came down from the waistline by 1 inch and I marked it straight from the dart leg to my side. That's my center front, and I'll indicate P. That's the piece for the pocket. So now I'm going to splash and spread this part because I want it to have a kind of flare. So I went ahead now to just divide what was here, and I used my ruler to connect it into a straight line just like this, because we are going to do slash and spread method, and I went ahead to indicate 1, 2 and 3. So when I was done with this, guys, I'll go ahead and cut. So this part I'm marking right now is the part that I will be cutting out. So I indicated center front and side front. So basically we are done with the front. Are you seeing how easy it is? It's actually very easy. So guys, I actually didn't go ahead with okay, let's get to that point, then I'll explain what I did. So I went ahead now to cut. Are you seeing? So I made sure I cut all of it. So at this point, guys, I'm going to close up my shoulder dart. I explained the reason why I opened the shoulder dart, to avoid gaping around the shoulder area. So guys, you can support my channel by liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing to my channel. So when I was done with this guys, I went ahead to close my bust dart, and then I went ahead to slit open the pocket area, and that was it. So for the back, I did not show how I drafted the back because the back was very easy. The only thing I did was, since there is no opening at the back, I just drafted the back with the Princess Dart method for the back, and then that was it. I did my shoulder darts tightening. I tightened my shoulder for the back. There was nothing to elaborate that I did for the back. The most complicated part of the tutorial was actually the front. So the back is just normal normal back, and that was it. So I went ahead to infuse my hair stay to my main fabric, and then I cut my lining piece for both front and back. So I'll go ahead right now and separate these linings so we could start sewing. So this is the rope and the pocket facing that I cut out. So this is the front. I'm actually removing it. For the lining for the front, I was not supposed to separate the lining. It's only the main fabric I was supposed to separate, but I didn't realize that I had to cut the lining out. But when you're doing your own, do not cut your lining. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Let it be in one piece. The only part that you're cutting for the front is your main fabric because of that pocket. But for the lining, you don't need to cut it because you're not attaching pockets in the lining. I hope you understand. So what I did was I went ahead to pin down the center back. So I'll go ahead right now and sew the center back. So when I'm done with that, I went ahead to, are you seeing what I was explaining? I was not supposed to slit the side front. It's only for the main fabric, not for the lining. So because I already did the mistake, I went ahead to join it. Are you seeing? So I'll go to my sewing machine and join it so that it will be in one piece. I hope you understand. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll go ahead right now and open up the center front. Are you seeing the center front? When I'm done sewing the side front, I will attach it like this on the center front, and I will sew, and then I'll show you how it looks like. I'll set the lining piece aside and concentrate on the main fabric. So for the main fabric for the back, we'll be having a belt for the main fabric. So I'll go ahead and open up the back just the way I'm doing right now. I open it up side back, facing side back, the way it should be, and then before I'll actually close it before I fix my belt. So this is the belt. I'm going to sew down the belt, and when I'm done sewing, I'm going to attach it. So I went ahead and set this aside. I'm just basically analyzing what I'm going to be doing, so you're going to understand every process of this video. So this is our main fabric for the front. So I am basically setting all of it aside, like I'm just arranging. So you see, this is where the pocket is going to sit. So what I'm going to do, this is the pockets for the lining. I use lining for the pocket. So I'm going to explain how to fix the pockets for you. So I'm just explaining. Just hold on, just watch this video and you're going to understand. So this is the center front. I'll go ahead and open up the center front. Are you seeing our center front? So now let me concentrate on the front. So I have gone ahead to fix the first pocket. Are you seeing? So what I'm going to do now is to teach you how to fix the other pocket. So for the other pocket now, this our pocket facing, that's the pocket itself. I use lining. So for this part now, I'm going to go ahead now and attach it to the down part. When I attach it, I'll pin it down and I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it down first, and I'll bring it back to show you how it looks like. So this was when I was done sewing that part, that upper part. Are you seeing? So I'm going to go ahead now and attach my lining just like this. The right side of the lining will face the right side of our main fabric. Are you seeing? I first attached a band first, sew the band down, and then I am attaching the lining. That band is going to serve as an indication to the pocket, like how a suit pocket is. Then I'll go ahead right now and sew this lining. When I'm done sewing it, this is how it's going to look. Are you seeing? So now for the upper part of the front, which is this one I'm doing right now, I'll place it again right side facing right side. I'll pin it down and I'll go and sew it by 1/2 inch. If you follow this process that I'm doing, you're going to understand, and I hope I am not confusing you, please, because the aim of this tutorial is to make you understand. That's why I put up this tutorial. So I'm going to sew it right now and I'll show you how it looks. Are you seeing? I am done sewing this part. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to match the sewing parts. Are you seeing? The sewing parts like this, and then I'll go ahead, I'll pin down, and then I will sew this side. I'll sew this side. Are you seeing? I'm going to sew this side so that the pocket will not cover. I hope you understand, please. So this was when I was done sewing. Are you seeing? So now we now have a pocket in front. We have a pocket in front. So when I was done, guys, I'll go ahead now and match the center front and the side front together, and I'll sew it and show you how it looks like. So for the lining piece, I'll do the same thing. The center front and the side front of the lining, I'll sew it together and I will show you how it looks. I've gone ahead to join that lining that I told you I was going to join. Are you seeing? It's now in one piece. So I'll go ahead to my sewing machine and sew it down. So this is our back. Are you seeing the back? So from the shoulder line, I will come down by 15 inches for my back shoulder length. So I'll mark that 15 inches. Are you seeing? I'll mark it. Whatever is your half length, mark it. My half length for the back is 15 inches and my half length for the front is 16 inches. So whatever it's yours, do it. So when I marked it there, I went ahead to use my seam ripper to open it up so that I can be able to attach my belt. So now for the belt, it's actually optional to put your belt in the side of your back instead of using the center front, that's the center back, to attach the belt. You can actually do it side by side instead of going through this method. But the reason I'm going through this method is because we are working with the thumbnail. We are working with what is in the thumbnail. So what I did was, when I opened it, I went ahead to attach my belt through that hole, just like this. Are you seeing? So we now have a belt by the side. So I'll go ahead and sew it down on that side, and I'll also sew it down on this side. So guys, when I'm done, I'll show you how it looks. So this is the lining piece, guys. I've also gone ahead to sew down the lining piece. So this is my front, guys. I've gone ahead to sew it down, and I've also gone ahead to iron. So I used to, even for my lining too, I've also gone ahead to do same thing to my lining. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to bring in my shoulder, my back and the front. That's my center back and my front together. That's because I want to go ahead and sew it shoulder to shoulder. I'm using an inseam finishing for this tutorial. So I went ahead to place the right side of the front to the right side of the back. So I'll go ahead right now and stitch the shoulder. So when I'm done stitching the shoulder, I'll show you how it looks like. So this was when I was done stitching the shoulders, guys. Are you seeing? So what I'm going to do now, whatever I did for the front, I did the same thing for the back. I also stitched the back lining shoulder to shoulder. So I'm going to now match the lining and the main fabric together. So I will use my pin and hold the shoulder line like this. I'm going to open it up like this for both the main fabric and the lining, and then I will go ahead and pin it down so that both of them can align. So I will align the same thing to the lining and the main fabric, shoulder to shoulder. I'm opening it up like this and I will pin down. The next thing I'm going to do right now is also go through the neckline and also pin all of it down from the neckline, the armhole. I'm just going to arrange it properly. I do not want to miss out in any of these, and I will just do the same thing round our block. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So guys, if you found value and you want to support my channel, please, the only thing you can do for me is to like my video, leave a comment in the comment section, share to your friends, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. This is how you can support my channel, and God will bless you. So I'll go ahead right now and sew all of it in. I'll use half inch to sew all of it, but I am not going to sew the sides. I'm going to sew every part of this blouse, but I will not sew the sides. Please, I will repeat again. I'm sewing every part but not the sides. I'm leaving the sides of this blouse open. So I've gone ahead right now to sew all of it, my shoulder. I use hemming gum while I was sewing it down, because when I'm ironing, it's going to be much easy for me to iron. So I use my hemming gum for all of the parts, and then I'll go ahead right now and turn it over. I didn't sew the sides of this clothes. Are you seeing the sides are open? See it, the sides are open. I did not sew any of the sides, both back and front. I did not sew. So I went ahead to notch all of the curvy part. Is important that you notch, so that while ironing you're not going to see any folded part in your clothes. So it's good that you notch. So I went ahead to notch all of the curvy parts in my dress. So when I was done notching, I went ahead to turn and then I ironed it. This was when I was done ironing, guys. See how it looks. It looks very beautiful. Our dress is almost ready. Are you seeing, guys? It's so beautiful. Like, I'm in love with this dress. You need to see it on me. Like, it's really fine. You can wear this waistcoat anywhere. There are different designs in waistcoats, but I think I love this more. It's mature. I'm not saying the other ones are not mature, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying for me, I love this. So this is it, guys. We're almost done with this tutorial. If you want to continue with your inseam, so what you're going to do is to match the lining to lining and the fabric to fabric and sew around. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and sew it down with my sewing allowance, and I will go to my weaving machine and I will weave. It will still give you a clean effect. Even if you don't do inseam finishing at this end, you're still going to achieve a very good result. Are you seeing? So for those that want to do inseam finishing, this is it. You can do it from this end, but if you don't want to, you can actually follow my method by sewing down using your sewing allowance to sew it down, and at the end of the day you weave it. So guys, I'll go ahead now and attach my buttons. So guys, this is the final look of our waistcoat. Are you seeing how demure it looks? Thank you for watching my video to the end. I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye.